Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are tuned into another daily episode of the Daily Stack Report. But hey, first, make sure you subscribe because at 100 subscribers, I'm giving away the Silver Eagle. One lucky person is going to win this Silver Eagle right here, 1996 American Silver Eagle. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that bell because whenever we hit 100, we're going to do a video and you're going to have to comment on that video because that's how you do the random comment picker. So just keep that in mind, everybody. That's what you're going to have to do. That's just what it is. Okay, now let's get into the meat and the bones of today. Starting off, we kind of broke down on this trend line right here, looking at the chart. You know, it's never a positive sign. I did say in the last video that if we could hover around somewhere in here, I think that's very bullish news going into next week, you know, to kind of continue this uptrend to 100. But we did not. We actually hit it right here today. And we, you know, kind of came back up a little bit, but then we had a huge drop down right here. And then now we're in this zone. So if we stay in this zone right here, you know, we're going to see it play out to about early next week. Now, if we break on the downside of this, I do think we're going to be testing 82. And if we can't hold, because we didn't have much consolidation right here, so if we can't hold this $82 mark, we're going to be heading down to the high 70s, no doubt. Guys, we are setting up, this could be just how we had an inverse head and shoulders right here. We could be setting up for a shoulder one, a head, and if we have a little bounce right here, this would be the mark of a second head and shoulders, and that would be coming down on the downside. Now, the important part would be if we do have a head and shoulders and we come down, that we bounce off of this 83, consolidate out to the beginning of March 9th, and then we can come back up through there. But if we break down here, guys, it's not going to be very bullish. It's actually going to be very bearish on that side. So keep in mind, stack safe whenever you are. Don't go rushing right now because you think it's going to shoot to 100 tomorrow. I don't believe that it is, but that's just my personal opinion. What do I know? All right, guys, going over to spot prices right now. We have spot silver 88.17 with gold sitting at 51.83. Gold's been very stable the past couple of weeks, and so that's really good for gold. You know, we want to make sure that gold's staying stable. Silver has been a little bit more volatile, i.e. not very volatile, but you know, definitely a little bit. But today, you know, we did see the general market take a hit to the downside, so you know that for the general market to take as big of a hit as it did today, and we only were down 98 cents, you know, I'm not taking that as the biggest dive down for the day. What happened with the COMEX? I've been hearing a lot of this news circulating, and so I did some more research on it. Just kind of wanted to be, you know, very 100% sure, I guess you could say. You know, I like to be very sure whenever I call something. But the COMEX margin hikes changed the game. It's been raising margin requirements in response to volatility, meaning it costs traders more money to hold leverage future options. Reuters reported via mining.com, COMEX gold margins increased and silver margins increased again, with silver margins rising to 18% from 15% and gold to 9% to 8%. And so that is very you know, that does hurt a little bit, but not as much. The COMEX inventory stress is still a huge storyline. And, you know, Live Mint reports the registered COMEX silver slipped below 90 million ounces recently, with eligible also declining. Registered is the metal that's actually deliverable against futures contracts. When registered inventory tightens, it doesn't automatically mean default, but it does mean the deliverable cushion is thinner. So the market's kind of like in this tug of war right now. Short-term price hits from leverage and margin mechanics, long-term support from physical tightness and supply concerns. And why this matters: if you're a physical stacker, you care about two things. Can you actually buy metal at a reasonable premium? And are these dips real opportunities or warning signs? Well, let's go over here to APMEX, SD, and JM. And what do you know? Check this out. Oh, SD? What is this? Okay. SD bullion changed something. SD Bullion changed something last night. Hold on. Wow. Okay, check this out. I think I just found a deal. I think I just found the deal. They heard me. They heard me talking about them cooperating. Yes. Right now, while albeit still $100, it's only $11 premium. You get $10 off your order plus $5 off per coin. Now let's see if, okay, so 101 is SD Bullion's cost for a Silver Eagle, and APMEX and JM both have them at 105 and a couple cents. Sorry, we talking cents, not pennies. But let's add this to cart, and I want to see if this is already baked in that price. Let's see. Go to checkout. Continue checkout. Okay, check this out. So right now, you can basically get one. Well, you have to pay for shipping. So, shipping. Okay, so right now, as it stands, you can get one Silver Eagle for basically spot on SD Bullion. That's rare. The whole time we've been doing this, guys, we have not had that opportunity. So one Silver Eagle at spot. Now, when we go over to... That's not what I chose. That's not what I chose, guys. You all saw that. So yeah, they changed it. They changed the quantity for the discount, but the $5 off per coin is already baked into this price. That's what I thought. I mean, albeit it's still on sale, so that's nice. But you do have to spend $200, and so if one is $90, yeah, you're still gonna have to buy three. You're still going to have to buy three just to get that free shipping. But it is good news that you can get one of them at 90. That's actually very bullish right there. I like that. So SD Bullion currently has the best deal on our beautiful Silver Eagles. Now let's see if they have any deals on silver rounds. The Buffalo. Check this out. So the Buffalo is on sale for only $6 over spot. Not terrible. Not terrible. You know, we've definitely seen better. If you get 20 or more, you get an extra dollar, so it's only $5 over spot. I love how they say as low as $4.49. Yeah, as low as $4.49 if you're buying 500 or more. If you're buying 500, who do you think they are? Who do you think they are, man? That's crazy. That's crazy talk right there. If you're buying 500 more, to the average consumer isn't buying 500 or more. You know, it's nice. I'm just not the biggest fan of this advertising, right? Because you have to buy 500 or more, and no one's really doing that. You know, it's a hefty purchase for someone. But anyway, getting back to the meat and bones of this, guys. Checking out these technical analysis. You know, I'm watching the dollar and the yields. That could definitely affect this. Any follow through on margin changes and volatility. And the COMEX registered inventory trend. You know, I'm going to be definitely checking that out. You know, I did hear that they paused trading. Isn't it funny how they always pause it on the upside, never on the downside? This whole downside we had over here, you know, and they never paused trading, which it's kind of bonkers if you ask me. But anyway, it is what it is. If you got value out of this breakdown, hit the like button, hit the subscribe so you can win. I'm giving it away. It's for free. For free. But hit that subscribe button, win the Silver Eagle. Guys, as always, stack safe, stack smart. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow's the end of the week. Someone give me a margarita. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.